Let's have a look at the Projects module. You can go to the Projects module by clicking on the Projects on the left menu bar. On the landing page, the grid will have the project code, project name, client name, and other details of the project. In the landing page you have grid view and also a cards view. Let's see how to create a project and the process of project approval. Wherever you have a drop-down, it means that it's coming from the masters. Here you can see that there is a client group and a client name. A client group can have multiple client names with different billing GST. The client group and client name comes from the master. You can add a new client group directly from here. Client addition can be done in the client group master. Next is the entity. It also comes from the master. Then the project name. Next, we enter the project category. On choosing the project category, it will give you the option to choose the team. This is already predefined in the project hierarchy, which would be mapped to the project categories. You can add multiple users on all levels. All the drop-down fields are search-enabled. Here, while adding the team members, the person creating the project should definitely be a part of the project or it will not allow you to submit it. Project overview is basically the project description and you can enter multiple descriptions. Next is the billing status. For non-billable and non-core function you will not have the engagement letter. Let's have a look at the billable one. Enter the exact project value. Enter a start date and end date. Then choose the type of engagement letter. If it's an open-ended project, it will be renewable on a perpetual basis and you'll get a reminder on the set end date for renewing it. You can upload the engagement letter by clicking on the Browse and choose the desired file. If in case it is a close-ended project, you can choose the renewal type and add the expiry date. Based on the renewal type you'll get a reminder to renew it. After filling all the mandatory fields, you either save it or submit it. Save option will save the data and a project will be created without a project code and will be shown as yet to submit. You can find the project you created on the project's landing page. On the Actions column, you'll have Submit and View. For proceeding further, you should click on the Submit option. Here you can edit and update the fed information. Once done, click on the Submit icon on the bottom. You will be redirected to the Commercials module. This is the Commercials screen, where you can schedule the invoices. The project value, start and end date will be auto-fetched from the project screen. Select the appropriate invoice method on the top. Choose the frequency type from the drop-down. You have one-time, yearly, monthly, quarterly and milestone-based predefined frequency. If none of them are suitable, you can choose the custom date. Let's choose the frequency as one time. Add the start date, end date, the amount, and submit it. You can add multiple frequencies. Now let's choose quarterly, add fee start date and amount. It will be calculated for each remaining quarter. Ensure that the invoice amount you added for each frequency adds up to the project value. There is also an option to add milestone-based frequency. For the milestone-based, you should add the milestone name, fee start date, end date and finally the percentage for this milestone. Whatever percentage you add, will be calculated from the project value and will come as the amount to be invoiced. Make sure the percentage adds up to 100, else you won't be able to submit. To edit the commercials or the project fee, you should click on the edit icon in the actions column, click on the update button at the bottom, you will be redirected to the commercials screen. Edit is available for all the entries. You can also delete them. If neither of these options are suitable for you, you can always choose custom date. Once all the data are fed in and submitted, the project will go for approval. If it's a non-billable project, there will be no commercials. Let's have an overview of the project approval process. The process is simple and straightforward. When a project is created by a team member or by a team manager, it will go to the team leader for approval. When it is created by a team leader, it will get auto-approved. We created this project in a team member login. So, once all the relevant data are fed into the application for a project and submitted, in the project's landing page grid, instead of a project code, it will be showing as pending. It can be edited and updated by the team who are added into the project. The approval process, as said earlier, would go to the team leader. Now, this is the team leader login. Here, in the project code column, for the TL, it will be showing as to approve instead of pending, as it were showing to the team manager and member. The team leader can go into the project page by clicking on the To Approve button in the project code column. In this page, if you scroll down, there will be options for the TL to either approve it or reject it. Let's first look at the approval. Click on the Approve button and choose Yes in the pop-up. Once the team leader approves a project, the project can be planned. If a team leader creates a project, it will be auto-approved. Let's also have a look at the rejection process as well. Similarly, a TL can reject a project. Let's look at this particular project for the rejection. As we saw earlier, we can go into the projects page by clicking on the To Approve button, and on the bottom of the page, we can see the Approve and Reject buttons. Click on the Reject button. A pop-up will come, asking you to enter the reason for rejection. Enter the reason and click on Reject. Once rejected, in the project code column, it'll be displayed as rejected. In the login of the user who created that project, there will be an option to resubmit that project again. On clicking the Resubmit option, the user will be redirected into Project Details page, where at the bottom of the page, the reason for rejection that was captured will be displayed. This reason for rejection would help the user to make appropriate change in the project details and resubmit it for approval. Also, whenever a user makes any change to a project by editing it, it will go to the TLs for approval once again. A few important points to make a note of are: to create a project, the user creating it should definitely be a part of that project. If not, a pop-up message will come, asking the user to add themselves to the project. If a project is saved but not submitted, it will be showing as yet to submit and will not go for approval. Only after approving and planning a project, the users will be able to add timesheet entries, expenses, and raise invoices. Thus, with this we have covered the project approval process. After adding a project, let's plan the project. Click on the Plan Project button on the Actions column. It will take you to the project template screen. Here you can choose predefined templates that come from the master. If the template you want don't exist, you can always create a new one or ask the admin to do it for you if you don't have the access. Let's choose a template. After choosing a template, you will be redirected to the first level of the template. It can be a milestone, task, or even a subtask based on the template you choose. Here, in this case it is a task. Regardless of the template, the first thing to do is to add the start and end date. If it is the last level, you can select the criticality, assign the resources and add the estimated hours. After a project is planned, you will be able to add logs to the milestones, tasks, or subtasks, whichever is the last level. Once you have planned a project, the Plan Project button will disappear and you can view the task you added. Once a project is approved, you can go to the Invoice module and see the invoices in the Scheduled Invoices tab. Thus with this, we have covered project creation, approval, rejection, resubmission, and project planning.